Week 5 presentation 2 is on blending and gradients. Now, I've already gone through gradients back in week 3 in the color presentation. So if you want to go back and take a look at that, that's right here, week 3 color. Let's pop that open and take a quick look at the preview. And that was the gradient, a couple of different color tutorials in that specific week. The gradient tutorial is right down here. It's color tutorial 2. That's all about gradients and applying gradients to strokes and adjusting gradients and editing gradients, etc. So as a review, please take a look at that color tutorial 2 located in the week 3 presentation 1 color. Okay, so back to week 5. I want to talk about this. That leaves us with blending for week 5. We've got week 5 2 presentations, blending and gradients, and then the path and anchor points, which we already went through. So let's take a look at blending. To do blending, what I want to do, demonstration on blending, is I just kind of want to take the basic elements of blending. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the star right here. And I'm going to take this star, and I'm going to create a square. And in that square, I just hold my shift key down to constrain that to a square. I'm going to change the color on that. And then, of course, what we can do is we can marquee select both of those. And, of course, this is all in your book. So, and it's also in the lynda.com tutorial. So basically what we do to blend these is go to the blend tool. And I'm going to just select each one with the blend tool. And that's going to create the blend. Now, how does it create the blend? You double click the blend tool. It'll bring up this blending options dialog box where we can see some different things going on. This is specified steps. If I change that to 5, we can see, and click that preview, we can see that there's 5 steps now blending not only the colors, but also the shape from a star to a square. Okay, now I want to show you something else here that we also have specified steps. We've got smooth color, we've got specified distance. So you have complete control over how that works. Okay, you can see those differences there. Let's go to that specified distance again, and let's go to, okay, so the distance is 0.34 of an inch away, so you can see how that, it doesn't really define the number of steps. It's as many steps as it takes to adhere to that specific specified distance. Okay, another thing I want to show you here is that this is a path right here, okay? So as we see, this is a path. Now remember from the editing paths video, if I select that, that is now part of an active path, and we can change that. Now, again, from that video, remember now these are corner points. So what I can do is I can take this in my anchor point tool, and I can change that to a curve point. And yes, indeed, that will now behave as a curve. Very cool stuff. This has all the properties of a path. So I can add anchor points. And in that anchor point, I can, everything that we can do with the path, we can do with this blend. Okay, let me Command Z that a few times. And I want to show you a real world application of how to actually create a blend, something that is going to really make a lot of sense here. Okay, so let me get rid of that. And I'm going to use this star, and I want to show you a real world application for a blend right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that star, and I'm going to duplicate it, okay? I'm going to duplicate it by holding my Option key down, just dragging it over here. I'm going to leave that one the same. This one, I'm going to increase the size, and I'm going to change the color. Okay, and these colors, I'm not trying to create any kind of color harmonies or anything. I'm just really trying to make these colors as visible as possible so you can see what's happening here. So let's go ahead and, all right, there's our little illustration here, our star and the star, right? So I want to show you that you can use this idea of blending to create a gradient, customized gradient. So what you can do in here without this, let's take this and now you create a gradient here, right? By just going to Window, Gradient, and selecting a gradient and then adding all of the colors that we had talked about in some of those other videos, that gradient video, right? So we have all of the attributes here of the gradient, okay? But that's not a customized gradient. Let me show you how we can customize a gradient from star to star using this technique. Okay, so what I would do is I would use the blending tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to marquee select both of those. go to my blend tool, and I'm going to select each one of these, and that creates this gradient. Now double click that and we can see that we've got specified steps in the gradient. We can create a smooth gradient, and I'm just going to say okay on this, and let's click off the artwork, and you can see that you've got this really customized gradient that you can do many different things with. And this will really take your illustrations to the next point by allowing you to customize your gradient based on the shapes that you're applying the gradient to. Okay, very important consideration when talking about blending and creating customized gradients using the blending tool. Okay, and the other thing again to remember is the importance of understanding that a blend tool is a path and it is fully editable as a path. Thank you.